Oh dear, I didn't turn it on. That would help if you turn the tablet on. So now I gotta wait. Anyway, howdy, partners! Yes, it's another Kerbal Space Program. Um, I could have televised the whole thing that I did yesterday, which was God took hours. But God, that would have been such a yeah. I think that would have been too much for you all because it was a real struggle. Absolute struggle, and I'm just going to show you the very simple bit before moving on to planes. But basically, what happened was there was a guy that was stuck on the moon. Hang on, let's get the. There was a guy stuck on the moon here. He was stuck in orbit around the moon. So let me just focus on that. Give you the whole story. Okay, he's stuck around the moon, floating around in his empty little capsule, which I think is, yeah, there it is. A 9,000 by, I think it was about 13,000 orbit. So 9,000 is still fine because it's quite low before you get the series of influence. Although the real thing on the actual moon is is about a lot lower than that, a lot higher than that. I mean, so it was still safe even though it was there. Now, I thought it was much higher than that before, but what do I know? So what it was, I had a ship that was travelling, around about 50 away from the moon, and it was at a weird angle like that, but it had a fair bit of fuel on it. And then there was another Apollo style kind of ship, although it didn't look very Apollo-like. So what I did was I got the plane down so that it was kind of level with the other one, and then picked up the Apollo one, which had a manned capsule in, whereas the one that I was operating only had one of those remote control units. So I thought, well, I can't pick up the pilot because what you got to do is get very close to this pilot. In other words, getting to docking mode, and then he can just travel to the ship and he can be rescued. And there's a contract out for him, by the KGB. It's to save him and then try and recover him and bring him back. So, so I had to dock with this kind of Apollo thing with an empty capsule, which I could not operate, by the way, because it didn't have a remote control and it didn't have a pilot in it. So I had to use this other one to try and dock with it, and it was in a weird position. And because I can't have them both facing each other, because the one it didn't have any crew in it and it didn't have a remote control on it, I couldn't actually get it to turn toward the docking port of the other one. So it was a whole lot of manoeuvring I had to do, up, down, really difficult to do to try and get it. He was like pointing up, so I had to kind of maneuver and kind of come down from above. It was really awkward. It took me a long time to actually get the thing to dock. And then I finally got it docked, and then it was controllable. And then I moved into this orbit because I had two ships there, but both with plenty of rocket fuel in, and we were had to rescue. So I rescued him, and then what I did was, once the guy had got into the Apollo one, I thought, well, I'll separate that one now, leave the other one in orbit around the Mun, because it can be like a refueling thing, and then just send the what was left, the capsule with the plenty of fuel, all the way back to to planet Earth, Kerbin. So that's what happened. But as soon as I undocked from the other vehicle, it went spinning wildly into space. It just spun faster and faster and faster, and it became completely uncontrollable. And even if I put the SAS on, it wouldn't stop it because the craft had no SAS control. It had no pilot. So if you got a pilot, you get SAS control. So because it didn't have a pilot, which he was an engineer, he couldn't pilot it. He couldn't do anything. So the thing just spun out of control, and I couldn't. But luckily I'd done a save at the docking, so I had to redo it and then bring the whole craft back. So this is what I've done. I brought the whole craft back now. So now we can see what that looked like. So, and then we'll move on to planes. So yeah, as soon as I undocked this, see this had plenty of fuel, but it has tons of fuel in it. All right. Now we are getting lower and lower all the time. So this one I I took most of the fuel out of this and put it into this one. So because I was going to get this one back to kerbin, but now I'm going to do the opposite, and I'm going to unfuel it because we don't need all that fuel now because this is going to be thrown away. So we're now going to, and then we'll move on and do some planes. So I'm going to now empty most of it to the other craft because we barely need anything to land. So we can literally go with a small amount like that. Well, in fact, that's probably too much. All right, so the other one then could maybe go back to the Mun and become like a little refueling station. Probably could come in a touch like that. All right, so we'll do that. So hang on, which one was which? It's hard to tell. Yeah, that was that one. All right, and this should be, has a little line there. So, and then I'm going to kind of fill this one up as well. So I don't think I think that's it actually. I think that's it. So that should be it. So I'm just trying to save some fuel to go back to the Mun, if I've got enough fuel to do that. And then this can be like a little thing just to refuel. Or maybe just leave this in orbit here and refuel it again. So, and this is on my career mode, by the way. This is actually my SpaceX career. So this is normal career mode. I made it slightly easier by doing the, giving myself 10% more science, because it is tricky, the career. You got to do things that they want you to do, or you won't make money. So it's a bit difficult. So that's what I'm doing. So now we're just the final procedure. Now what I've done is I've done a landing point already. So all we've got to do is do this maneuver now. So we're going to come here and we're going to warp to this maneuver. And also another complication is because you're in career mode and they gain experience as they go along. So I do not get target control. So that made docking extremely difficult because I cannot point at the target. I've got to do it all manually. So I've got to put SAS on and stuff, and I've got to do it all manually, line up with it all manual. So it was really difficult. It took me a long time, and I thought, well, that'd be way too long for you, for you to watch a video of me making mistakes, because it was really a stressful a stressful thing for me to do. It's probably one of the most difficult things I've ever done. So, so why a remote control unit is always handy as a spare. Just stick one on anyway, even if you have got a pilot or whatever, just in case you dump it. But at least somebody else can use it. So I've done it down to 30 this time. I'm trying to make this more accurate on landing. Right, and then we've got 6 seconds. We're down to it now. Oh, actually, I haven't moved it onto the target. So while I was chatting there, I almost forgot this. So yeah, it's all got to be done manually. I've got no automatic control here, so I haven't even got the, the marker. So I've had to do everything manually. So it's been really, really quite stressful to do all this. And I must have been on it a good 2.5 to 3 hours last night doing this whole sequence that I had to do. Right, what I'm doing is bringing it into land. And then I'm separating the capsule because this thing will spin wildly out of control. If I let go of this thing now, it will spin absolutely wildly out of control. Okay. So, I've got to separate it from here. Where are we? Let me have a look, see where the separator is. I've got to separate the craft from here. Oh, have I not got a separator? I should have a separator. Yes, so I decouple, which means now this one will be uncontrollable. Alright? So really I can transfer the rest of this fuel over. I'll put some in there, say, just to kind of even it out. Because I don't need all this. So I'm going to drop out even more. In fact, I'm going to drop out the whole lot. No, on second thoughts, I'll leave a bit in just in case there is some way I can get somebody up there. But there's going to be no capsule on it, so I don't see how I can do that. So, yeah, it's quite difficult. It's best to go out, because going in is a little bit slower. It gives you a bit more time to get this right. But when you out, it goes out very fast, like that. So, it's best to do out. Then the in, and then move the thing over. That's it. Get them round about equal. Alright, so as much fuel in this as possible. So now we've got to let go of this, and that means this bit will really become totally redundant. But the first thing I want to do is he's got to get out, and we've got to do this, of course, before we run out of time. So I kind of left this a bit late. So we got to get him out very quickly and pick up this science. So where is he? Always goes the opposite side for some ridiculous reason. So he's going to let go. Alright, and then we're going to put his SAS on, and we're going to... Whoa! Oh god, this thing goes out of control sometimes. Where's the ship? Is he... Oh my goodness, has he also got no control? So I don't know what's going on here. It's like it's almost like it says, you know, if you're on your own like this, it's going to go out of control. I can't get up to it. It's kind of up. So that's made this. Oh my goodness, this is... Shouldn't have done that then. But it looks like it's up there. So that was a bad idea, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm starting to spin. So I don't quite know what is causing this spin, because it shouldn't spin just randomly like that. Yeah, it's always a job to get the ship here, because you cannot separate the two. And if I try and take off him, I can't take him off, because he's the one that we are. So it's really difficult to get the actual ship bit. So I'm trying to get the ship. Set that as a target, so I've got an idea where it is in here. I think it's above me, but I seem to have no control over this Kerbal. So I don't quite know what's going on here. Does that mean engineers cannot even control yourself? So yeah, this is... So this is the problem I had. See, I cannot control it now. I can only control it. Oh my goodness, I can't control this at all. This is absolutely impossible. Almost. So I've got to get towards the target. So this has gone wrong straight away. I can't rotate this. I can't rotate the ball. So, and I think it's... Oh no, there it is. Right, I've got to move that way. So you've got to go into free camera mode, and I'm going to try and line up with it. Oh dear, this is so difficult. I've got to line that up, and I cannot actually rotate myself here. So I've got to push forward to slow myself down. So yeah, this is the kind of problem I've had. It's been absolutely unbelievably difficult to do this whole thing. It's been ridiculously hard. So I should be on free camera. Oh, I'm actually hitting the atmosphere now, so I may have to revert. Oh, I cannot. Oh, yes, I can. Let me go back to the quick save. Jeez. Didn't foresee that he would totally lose control there. So I have to do this before I set the maneuver now. Man, this is the problem I've had with this. It's been such a pain to do. So this is the really difficult side of Kerbal, because if you got to play career, this is why I don't play career mode too often. It's because it's really, you know, it's quite difficult, because if you haven't got a pilot in, you cannot control everything. So it makes it extremely difficult. I never know why it swaps to the other side. You know, I can't quite work it out. So we can do it again. Now, again, he's going to have this no control thing, but we should be able to balance ourselves. Now, what I'm trying to do is take out the data from here, because this is going to well, possibly burn up, but if I collect that, and then collect any other results that we have here. So collect these as well. So it's better to do it, I think, before I do my maneuver. So yeah, it's been a real struggle. So this is why I tend to, if I play career mode, it can be tough stuff, with low experience. You got to learn these experiences so that you can, have more control. You get more controls appear for you to do, like to and from target or normal and anti-normal. You don't get some of those when you're level 1. I think you only get 2, which is prograde and retrograde. So it makes the whole thing extremely tough. So I can collect the data from that. Now there may be data already in here, so it may not accept it. Oh no, it did accept it. So because I'm on career mode, I'm trying to retain as much of this information as I can, because obviously we want the science. I'm just checking that there's now. It's probably may have done this twice. So again, we're going to get that. Try and store it and see if it does it. Oh, it did. Good. So I'm trying to get another 500 science. So that's my problem. So I think that is everything I can do on that front. Did I do the... Yeah, I did this data. Let me just see if there's any more. That looks like it. I cannot restore that because I'm not a scientist. Although, yeah, I don't think an engineer can. No, we can't. So yeah, this has been a massive struggle to bring this guy back. And it's a mission that was given to me. So really difficult. I shouldn't get anything from anything else. So this now will probably get short, or we just leave here. So I just want to make sure I retain that. Then we'll pop back in. We'll do that maneuver, and then we'll separate this so this stays in space. I won't be able to dock with this because there's no docking port on here. So this bit then becomes kind of redundant. So. But it is controllable, I think. Oh no, it's not controllable. So actually we'll totally lose this bit here. So this has got stabilised. See, this has got SAS control. Whereas, see, I can't understand why this had SAS control and this guy was in it. But I still don't get SAS control. But I think you've got to have the pilot as well. You've got to have both. So we're going to separate these two. Although first we've got to set the maneuver node. So what I did was I just rotated it a couple of times so that we'd come down on the landing site. So it looks like we're showing this now. I think there's a couple of orbits and then the landing site here comes into the daylight. I want to do it daylight if I can. Don't have to, I mean, land in the water, but it just makes it easier, doesn't it? Right, this is tablet started. So if there's anybody watching, welcome. And don't forget, I'm going to put this on YouTube, so like and subscribe on YouTube if you like what you see, and a follow will be wonderful on Twitch. So yeah, go ahead and do that if you fancy it. Right, let me just check people have come into chat. I've had a couple of people following in, so just while that skips around, I'll just check my live feed. Right, where's my live feed? Broadcasting, right, there it is. Let's just see if it's actually live. I could have done all this for nothing. It's probably a best idea, really. Well, I'm trying to click on it, nothing's happening. So let's get the app instead, I think that'd be quicker. Where's my app? Have I not got a Twitch app here? I haven't got a shortcut for it. So let's get the actual app up. Be a bit quicker. Right, I should be coming into the light now. So yeah, we can do the maneuver now. So yeah, career mode, difficult. Quite difficult. There's no space station around here either. I've got no space stations at any of my planets. I've purely just been going to the planets and coming back and getting the science. And I've unlocked a lot of the tree. So, pretty good. Yeah, I'm on the last bit now, but I need to gain extra science here. So, I need every bit brought back if I can. So I'm going to go to this new lower orbit of... I'm going to try 30, because I'm trying to gain accuracy on this, and I've been really struggling. And then we'll do a little bit of fun with planes. So I think it was about halfway last time. So I'm going to set it on halfway because I've got a different height now. So I'm trying to find a route where we can do it so that it comes out alright. And then we've got to do this separation. Let's get rid of that thing there. So we've got to separate this bit, making this bit redundant. So, oh, actually I haven't transferred the fuel yet. Oh, come on, hurry up. So we can transfer the whole of the fuel out. That's because the weight is shifting to the right. That's why the camera is moving. It's kind of finding the center point. Alright, so now we've done that. There shouldn't be any more fuel on here. If there's any monoprop in there, I might keep it. But I could transfer some to there. So let me transfer some to there and leave a bit on there for maneuverability. So this one is in. So let's do in on that one. I'll do it nice and slow. We'll try and fill it up if we can, but still leave a nice amount in there for maneuvering, or maybe making it crash into the planet or something. Maybe a bit, I'll fill it up actually. But yeah, the career mode can be a little bit tough at times. I mean, you can make it easier for yourself, obviously. And then we're going to control the craft from here, so make sure I always do control which control, otherwise, you know, switch to the other one. Yeah, it's always hard if it always wants to kind of do the crew for some reason, right? So you've got to get away from the crew area. Control from here. Alright, so that changes our marker. Again, we've got to do this manual marker. It's 20 minutes. Actually, we've got to do the control from the other point. So I made a mistake there. But this is, yeah, I've got to do all this manually. There's no aim at the maneuver. So yeah, let me check there's a picture. I've probably done all this for nothing otherwise. So please let it be coming out, otherwise if it's a blank picture then I've wasted my time. It is a blank picture. Oh no, it's not a blank picture. Shoo! Alright, we're okay. So if I wiggle it like this. Right, it's working. Okay. I thought for a minute, I saw a blue screen, I thought it wasn't coming out. Right, there we go. Done all that. So we've actually got to control it from this. So I made a mistake there. I've got to control it from here because... Why, Ray? Because we've got to set the maneuver node first. Oh yeah, of course we have. Because we haven't, you know, we've got 19 minutes to do this. And we've got to do this manually. We can't click on a button and just get this to do. So this is on Series X, and I had a trouble with my controller this morning. There's been a problem on Series X where sometimes the controller desyncs with the Xbox One, and I had no Xbox Series X, and I couldn't control it. So you got to hold. If you get that problem where your controller is not syncing with your Series X, base unit. Press and hold the power button on your, on the Series X, on the base unit. Press and hold it and let it shut off, okay? And then turn it back on again and press the resync buttons on both the unit and the controller, and they should resync back up again. But apparently that's a bit of a problem. There is an update coming fairly soon, I think, which should be fixing all that, plus a few other problems with Series X as well. So that should be sorted out soon. Right, we're coming up to the point now. So now this will shift, as you can see there. It's already shifted because we're moving. So we've got to keep moving this along, and we may have to move it again when we get there. And then we can do our fun with planes bit. So Didn't really think this was going to go on for so long, but that gives you an idea of the kind of problems that I've been having doing it in career mode, where you lose control. And of course, every time I tried to come back from the moon and I was setting a maneuver or trying to dock, as soon as the Earth was or Kerbin was blocked by the moon. So when I was on the moon, going around the moon, it would cease transmit. So say that was, say Kerbin back there. As I was going around the moon, and my maneuver was here, I had no direct control, so I could not control the ship. When you get partial control, which is round about almost as you come into view of Kerbin, you get partial control, which means you can only go full throttle or no throttle. You cannot do the tiny adjustments. So that's why it was extremely difficult to do, because I had to get a maneuver now which was on the daylight side or when we had contact with Kerbin. So it's really difficult to set all that up. I didn't want to bore you with all that. I'll just show you the kind of rescue bit really. So what was it, 3 seconds. So let's do this. And of course we've got to manually keep an eye on this blue thing because it won't move automatically. So we've got to kind of do all this manually. See, tough stuff this. So once you get good at Kerbal, this is the stuff that really tests you, how good you are. It's this. Right, so we set our maneuver, and then we'll let it come around a bit more. Although I think I'll do the separation now, because once we get too low in the orbit, we'll start hitting the atmosphere and messing everything up. So we've got to make sure our guy, hopefully I'll be able to control this. It probably will go out of control. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate that, because once the atmosphere hits this heat shield, that should stabilize it automatically, because it's got this curved surface, so that should stabilize it so that it drops correctly. Okay, it has a couple of parachutes. It hasn't got 3, but it's got a couple, but it's only a small thing, and I will retract that as well, because obviously that get torn off. So everything, the instruments plus the stuff we just picked up, should stay in there, and we should retain that. I think there is I don't think there's even a collect box here. Right, now that we've done that, I can now separate from here. So I'm going to separate, I'm going to control from here. Whoops. I changed auto strut there. Control from here, moves it in the opposite direction, and then we're going to undock. So I think it's, if you go to the opposite side, that's where you get the undock, but either, you can do it from either side. So there we go, that undocks it. I should have done it radially. Normally I do it radially. Now, as you can see, I've got no control over it anymore. Okay, I've got no pilot, so I cannot control this craft at all. So this is why this is so tough. And the only control I got is this, but it's extremely, unstable, because I've got no SAS. So I got to kind of try and get it around retrograde. It should zero itself out, but you see what I mean? It's just totally uncontrollable, this craft. But it should kind of even itself out. So I'll just get it as best as I can. But it was actually spinning out of control. I couldn't control that thing. And then this one will actually go to put the SAS on so we get this. We're going to go back to prograde, and then we're going to push back out our orbit so that this one doesn't hit. Okay, so we've got to push this back out again. All right, now it would affect this one as well. So, but we've got to do it really, and we've got to make sure we're just not going to hit this thing. No, we're not going to hit it. And then we just keep an eye on that. We've got to go above 75, so we just get it above 75. It's going to push that one right out, but I'm not too worried. I've done that much quicker, it might have been easier. So 72, that's kind of pushing it. But because I'm almost at the high point, it's not really going to go up much. So it's not really going to go up, but it's going to push that one right out. So that will do. We'll go through the atmosphere just a little bit, but probably not enough to tear off our communications. So now I can fast forward this a little bit. Hopefully we can come back out. And the other craft, hopefully, shouldn't drop down to the planet yet. And I just want to check this comes back out of orbit again. Right, it is. It's already doing that. So that one is safe now. And then we'll do a maneuver so that when we get to the opposite side, it's gonna do that. So we've got to kind of set all this up, which makes this pretty tough. So we're gonna hang on. I want to get around here and do it because you can't. It's a bit hard to when you're looking at it from the other side. It's not that accurate to get this thing accurate. And then we're gonna push that back out again. Yeah, push it back out to say, I think it was 80, but I think I'll push it out to around about 90. I think one's on 90, one's on 80, so I'll go 95 so they don't hit with any other craft. I think there's one on 100, like that. Again, I've got to do this manually, so this is the manual control, that top one there, and so we've got to position this manually. So it's brutal stuff. If you want all this challenge, although if I'd have had a pilot in there, this would have been no problem at all. But because we've got an engineer in, this is the kind of missions you're going to get sometimes. You're going to get somebody to pick up. You will get rescue missions, like, oh, there's somebody going around in orbit around Duna, go and rescue him. And you get a reward when you both save him. So first of all, when he gets from his ship to the empty one or the spare one, and then also when you bring him back to Kerbin. Right, so we'll wait till we get to that one. Now all the time I've got to watch this other one because the other one is actually dropping. So we've got to keep an eye on that one, which is, I do believe it's this one here. That's the debris. Yeah, it's really hard to do it. You've got to kind of get rid of the debris so you can actually click on the ship. Now if we look at that, there's its orbit gradually coming down. So it might actually hit the ground before we do. So what we'll do is I'll fast forward it. I'll keep an eye on its height, because we'll hit the atmosphere around about, thick atmosphere where we'll start getting all the flame effects around about the sort of 50 mark or whatever. Let's do say there, and we are this bit, I do believe. Let me just check which bit I am. I'm this bit. So I've got to kind of get to this maneuver and land the guys at the same time. So it's gonna. This is why this is a little bit tricky. Doing both of these at the same time, it's a little bit tricky. So this one should have a orbit of that, so that one's going to come in now. He's burning through the atmosphere, so probably that's going to happen before we hit this point. So I think I'll switch to the other ship now. It's all complicated stuff now, really. So ship along to this one. God, it's been almost a nightmare, but it will kind of centralise itself out now. You'll notice. Which way are we going? That way. So yeah, there's a significant heat build up here, but it's probably just going to burn off any instruments or whatever. It might burn off the instruments actually. Well, there's the KSP landing site, so looks like we're going to miss. I think it's because I've gone to come in lower. We're actually travelling at a higher speed. Makes sense, doesn't it? So obviously you're going faster because it's not a slower descent, it's a quicker descent. So again, that is a little bit out. So I still can't get this landing right. Looks like when I do the 35, I got closer to my target point. So we're going to land in the water. So we just get a little bit less funds the further away you are. You get 100% if you land it back here or within a certain radius. Once this is sort of land and we've got our parachutes out, we can probably, keep an eye on this guy. This guy shouldn't get to his maneuver node for a fair bit of time, so we should be able to just watch this guy land. And then we'll have a little bit look at a couple of planes. There are some stock planes that are already built. I'm not very good at building planes, and you'll see the result of that when when I show you me trying to rejig a plane that's already been applied, because I can't do them very well. And I haven't got too many parts. I wonder if I could log the seismic data as we're burning through the atmosphere. This might be possible. Or there, I mean, I may not have done this before. Any things I can do? No, I don't want the cabin. I want the instrument. Yes, it always. It's a constant problem. Is it's just like in line with the cabin. It doesn't want to do this bit here. I think this is the same thing, isn't it? So I'll try and see if there's any more on the drop while we're dropping. No, I think we've already spammed all these previously, so we're not going to get anything for any of these. Right, we just got to do the parachutes now. They're safe to deploy. So now I know this guy is safe. I should be able to do the rest of it now. He can safely land. And we don't have to worry about him because he will land all on his own, and we can switch this other one, which it should be this one. Let me set that as target. So he should be on the 80. So 73 by 80, yeah, and there's his maneuver node. So he's got plenty of time to get there. So we should better just watch this descent. So this is a rescue of RayRay Kerbin, who was stuck around the moon on a low orbit of 9,000 by 13. Managed to rescue him. It took me about 3 hours in total because there was a couple of failures because the thing spun out of control. So I reloaded it back in. So it was pretty hairy stuff. Right, and then we'll just speed this bit up, and it'll give us the warning that things could break if you speed up too fast. You can go into the red zone, and invite the Kraken to, snap you off. It could open its mouth right now and trap us in its jaws. So be careful with this warp speed. Don't overuse it. All right. Maybe go to the 3 as the maximum. I find when you get to about 100, I tend to turn it off. Because I think that's a crucial point. And then you can just speed it back up again. Because I have had it once where I just fell through the water. And it just kind of crashed. So, there we go. So he's rescued. He's almost drowning there. So, we'll recover the vehicle. And then we'll go back to our other one, and we'll leave that in we'll get that into a nice stable orbit, and then we'll have a quick go on the planes, and that'll be it. I'm just going to try and keep this stream not too long. So we have 328 science, we've got 22 gained science, and now our total is 328. That's what it actually means. We've recovered, so that's all the things that we collected. I think some of them were doubled, so they didn't count. And these are the funds. 19 has been added for recovered parts. Okay. And RayRay is now part of our team. So, and he's gained a rank as well because we brought him back and he's done a good job. Okay. So, and as you can see, I've kind of upgraded some of the stuff, but still more upgrades to be done. So at the moment, I can do 255 parts, and I get the basic action groups. If I do that, I get the custom action group, which is the numbers 1 to 10. But I need a lot of money. And at the moment, I'm on, I think 1,300,000, 226, something like that. Something like that. And I think I've fully upgraded that. And I've still got to do that. So at the moment, I can do the maneuver nodes and things, but my maximum power that I can use for contacting other planets is only 50G. So that means the furthest planets we may not be able to have contact with Kerbin. So we'd have to do this one, and it also tracks unknown objects, which are the asteroids. All right, so that one needs upgrading, and then this one also puts. At the moment we've got 12 active Kerbals, and they can only perform EBAs and place a flag. If you do this one, then you get the capacity is unlimited. How many you have? All right, it doesn't change the other two. All right, and then you've got your mission control, which is fully upgraded. All right, so we should have done that. I think this is fully up. Well, it's nearly fully upgraded. Yeah, it is fully upgraded. So that gives us, we can collect samples now, and we can do resource transfer. So before you upgrade this, you can't even swap resources between capsules. So transfer the fuel, you can't even do that. So this is why, you know, from the start doing that is quite tough. I wonder how much we got for that. Does it say? It should say how much we got. So we've completed this mission. Now the other two is Eve, which is a very hard planet to land on. Very hard, in fact, almost impossible planet to get away from. Plant a flag on the moon. My original plan was to save Morales, send him down to the moon because we have plenty of fuel, land there, plant the flag, so therefore getting a little bit of extra money in, and bringing him back up, and then doing this whole thing of bringing him back. But it kind of completely lost control. I was unable to do that. So I had to quit that one in the end. Right, where are we? We're orbiting Kerbin now. Which one is it? So we should be... Right, that's our very hot... Well, that was supposed to be a polar orbit, but I ran out of fuel. But you can do a polar orbit, you know, you're supposed to do a polar orbit which goes that way. And I didn't quite have enough to actually get it all the way around. So it's kind of locked onto that one. So let me find the one that's going around Kerbin. Make sure I get the right one. It's the Apollo one. So no, in fact, not the Apollo one. This one. So this is our 200 by. No, it's not that one. It is this one. That one there. And we're almost at our maneuver node. So we got to very quickly go to it. So that just about made it in time. Got to manage two things at once. Probably been easier to do it on the second go, but right, here we go. So 1 second. Again, I've got to do this manually. So I've got to manually move this onto the thing there. I know there's a lot of things all in one spot there. It's sometimes hard to actually get it on the actual cross. So 1 second, very quick burn, but let me very quickly turn the thrust down. To say there, and that might give us about 5 or 4 seconds. Let's do it about there, and we'll do it from, what's it, 2.5. So try and line that up a bit more. So we're trying to stay with that marker if we can, get as accurate as we can. Just to tweak out that last bit. There we go. Whew! Yeah, if you want to try this, yeah, it's good fun, isn't it? So that was on 94, and so what I'm going to do then is go back to this side, and we'll bring the orbit sort of into a nice orbit, so both sides are the same. And then I'm going to have the quick go on planes. No, not that. That one there. Usually if you click on it, it does both, and then you can just pull that one down. So I'm going to pull this one down to 95. Just stabilise this orbit. It shouldn't hit anything else. I could actually send it to a space station. I'll probably do a space station at... Oh, I think it's flicked there and can't see that one now. Best to mark them both, really. Whoa! I can adjust that by just flicking this and try and get them both on 95. You can just do a little bit of a twiddle with it. Try and get them on. See if that 900 is going up. It's going down there. So we're going to bring that as high as maybe usually, hopefully, so it hits. Yeah, this is where we need this, isn't it? it does tend to whip back up again. So if you set it low, it does tend to want to go back up again. I'm trying to just even these out. I think that's the nearest we're going to get. Oops, and then I accidentally go and do that. So I can just tweak it back again. I'm trying to get that on to about 900. That one on the left, so it's almost. Yeah, I think I messed it up now. Oh, that'll do. I mean, it's near enough. Let's get this out, get this done. So that should be. Yeah, this is all right. But cancel that. Make sure you press B so that you cancel. Otherwise, you move the orbit again. So make sure when that thing has got the arrows and all that lot on it, that you press B to get out of it, and it collapses into this small maneuver node. Otherwise, as soon as you press your left joystick to centralize this bit, it's going to mess it all up. Right, there we are. Then we can safely go to the next maneuver node, speed this up. And our ship is here. Hopefully we're not going to coincide with that guy and hit into him. Is he close, that one? Looks like he might be quite close, that one. So we should be alright. I think he's on a slightly different orbit. So we should be just out of the range. He said hopefully. Right, well, 32 seconds, so I think I'll turn this back up again. So that it's not that much. There we go, more like 4 seconds. So you can just sort of tweak that in and out. Again, you can't do that with an engineer, unfortunately. You can't even get control of the thrust. So that's why the docking was so difficult. Right, 4 seconds. Oh, no good speeding up. We're almost there. So I'm just going to try and do this under an hour, but I was going to do it mostly for the planes, but it looks like I've missed that opportunity now, because I didn't think it would take so long as this. Yeah, it's quite tested now, this. That'll do, I think that'll do. I mean, I could try and tweak that out. I want it to be accurate-ish. So it's going to kind of move the opposite side so that it tweaks it back in, and then just tweak that bit out. There we go. A little bit too far, and I do. That should be near. I mean, it's stable orbit. That's the main thing. So that's going to be 95. That's going to be almost 95. So that's good enough. Right, now that I've done all that, let's have a look at the planes. So let's go to the Space Center. I was having a little drive around. I did a rover, and I had a little drive around the. Shall I show you that? I mean, so let's go to here. I tend to do it with the arrow, as opposed to, using these buttons. Right, let's open a craft. I had a look on my PC version of this, which is a lot better because there's higher textures and some mods you can put on it. So now let me see. Where was it? I did a little rover. I think it's called Ray's Rover or something ridiculous like that. No? Maybe it was on a different one then. But right, anyway. But we now got this switch to the thing, so you can do it straight from here. You don't have to go to the menu. Right, we can go in here and we can open, and I'll show you my only planes that I've got really. What plane is that? It was my first one. This is my first attempt with the very few parts that I had. Of course, it didn't even take off. So So this is my first real plane. This is where I've got a few extra parts, so I thought I'd have a go at this. So let's look and see who we can put in there. See, at the moment, we've got very few. As you can see, most of my pilots are out there, so I've only got 2 left. So I've actually got to buy them from the, from the sort of astronaut centre. So they cost you money, and I'll tell you what, it goes up very quick, about 500,000 for one guy. So obviously, so you don't want to let these blokes die because you'll be severe trouble. I think I've rigided this all up. Yeah, it should all be rigid stuff. Yeah. So this is my first attempt at a plane, and then I'll show you. Yeah, these are the basic action groups. What it means by the 1 to 10 ones, you don't get the custom ones. So those are the ones that I cannot do. So we can only just do the normal ones and just change those if you want. Alright, so press B to get back out, I do believe. Is it? No, we just go to that. Right, let's try this guy. Try and launch it. And we'll see what see what it flies like. This is my first real attempt, and I never quite worked out. You gotta get balance up apparently, the centre of gravity with the lift. So if you got the lift to say, you know, we're going up because of the wings, it's going to go up. I can't remember if the wherever the centre of gravity is, whether the lift has got to be in front of the centre of gravity or behind it. Now you notice we're moving along. That's because it doesn't automatically put the brakes on. So it's best to put the brakes on first, then do your RCS. All right, full thrust. Although I don't think we got an engine on it. Oh yeah, we have, because these are the engines here. Now we could have put a tail on there, really, but so let's have a little go with Lodfield Kerbin. Try not to kill the guy. So we'll press the button, and obviously all 4 engines will fire. Alright, but it won't move because it's got the brakes on. So we'll take off the brakes, and when it gets to about near 100, we should be able to lift off. So if anybody knows whether it's got to be in front of the centre of gravity or behind it, please let me know. Because I've forgotten. It's been a long time since I did a plane. Whoa, it's going slightly off here. I should be able to pull up now. Whoa! Okay, it seems to be stable-ish. Triggers, I think, are the left and right. So it looks like we're okay. So there's a little island over there. And yeah, I had to go try and land on an island the other day. Yeah, that was bad business. Yeah, oh goodness me. We're out of control. Houston! We're gone out of control here, Houston. Bring it under control, quickly. Oh man, you see what I mean? I'm not very good at doing planes. You can see that, can't you? You kind of get the gist that it might be a not very good plane. Why is it not? Why am I losing control? Yeah, it's not the greatest plane in the world. I think you'll agree on that. I wonder why. It does it. So as you can see, I'm pretty useless at doing planes. I wonder why that lost control. Was it because I was going too fast? I mean, I had it on full blast there. But yeah, I put that to kind of add stability, but I don't know, that's a good point now. I think I've done all the tests here, so I shouldn't really get anything new. Well, I've got 0.2, I mean that. So I'll do a test just in case I've forgotten to do it on my... But I'm pretty sure I've done all this before. Oh, we're getting at 1.8 for that. I may as well do them then. Because sometimes I upgrade stuff and whatever, and then I forget to test it, especially when it comes to the planes. Which of course the planes are just below the the highlands. And cause I may have forgotten, say, to run this one. Okay, I've got a few points. So give me points for that. And then we'll try this guy again. And let's take the brakes off this time. I said, oh, the arrow's on there. Can't do all that. Oh, I can't. Can't remember which one it was to control. Right, ready, fire. So as you can see, it's probably a badly designed ship. The brakes on. Also, oh, that's why. Still have the brakes on. And then, yeah, when it gets about 100 or so, should be able to lift off. I may have been going too fast, or I'm just not very good. Well, I'm not very good at doing planes anyway. So 100 now, we should be able to take off. But yeah, I think I'll try and keep it a bit more stable this time. But yeah, as soon as you start turning right, It's either that or I haven't got powerful enough engines on this guy. So probably me trying to land on that particular island over there is a bit stupid idea. But I'll try. But I mean, I tried yesterday, I couldn't get anywhere near it. It's all hairy stuff, you see. It's really difficult. I think I just lost height here. A lot of fast, aren't I? Because I'm scared of doing throttling down too much in case but I'm trying to tweak it around. So you kind of tweak it. I mean, I don't think planes do this in real life, but have this horrible control because I don't have much control here. It could have had it lined up with the other one, couldn't it? So it could just fly from one straight to the other. But you know, they had to do it. So it was a bit of a challenge. They put the island to the right a little bit, and it's a very short runway, by the way. So we got no chance of. Of course, I got all gear up, so that's probably not aiding us in. You know, that's a bit aerodynamically insecure, isn't it? Still going around quite fast. Nice though, nice effects, isn't it? So yeah, chances of me landing. Oh, of course I'm stalling it. Oh my goodness, I am not good at planes, am I? So you know, I'm trying to stabilise it, but it's proving very difficult. Why are you not stabilising, mate? Trying to get it so it's more. It looks like, you know, you know, I'm losing predictability here. My forward thrust. See, I need to put a full thrust so I keep out. Well, all right. I give up with planes then. Let's revert to the space. So yeah, I'm not really. As you can see, I'm not really good. So I'm spitting into the mic, but I gotta have it really close. Right. So what I'll do is I'm going to return to the Space Center and show some planes that were done in the other mode. So if I quit the main menu, and it's on Series X, it's all pretty fast now, and then I go to my sandbox one. I think that's where I was messing about. But God, yeah, it would have been a good 3 hours or so, maybe longer, of doing that whole rescue mission. I didn't realise he was an engineer, so that made it very difficult. I didn't foresee that, but obviously, you know, that was the whole point, I suppose, was to challenge it. Now you can have lovely big planes on this. Right, so let's find a big one. So yeah, these are all kind of stock craft. That's an untitled one. I think that's just me messing about. But on at least on Sandbox, you know, you can unlock all these. You know, you can do a real big one, and they seem to be all named after birds. And some of these fly like a dream. So I wish I could. So let's do say a mallard, all right? Now, nice big liner, you see. How come that thing's only got 2 engines? Now, with doing flying with these things, you must have air intakes. Alright, because these guys here, and these are not auto-strutted. So yeah, you got auto-strut it all. If you do one side, it usually does the other as well. So I usually rigided this all up because it can wibble about a bit. So obviously I haven't tried this one yet. But it just saves you doing all the struts and stuff. Oh yeah, oh god, I've got to do every section here. Because this has got like a little ramp here. Okay, there's a little ramp here. So you can put cargo in it. You see? Now, I've tried putting a bloke in there. I went somewhere and I didn't have spare seat for one of the astronauts. So I put him inside there. And in trouble, they kind of glitch through the thing as you're coming through the atmosphere and they get killed. So that was... Don't use one of these as a for rescuing Kerbals. It doesn't work. They kind of glitch their way out of it. They probably don't like being in it. I mean, I wouldn't. Just trying to rigid it all up. so they don't fall apart. I thought I'd already pre-done this, but I thought I'd already done this on this particular one, but it looks like I haven't. And then this one, just what I'll tell you what, I just did the auto strut for a minute. That should be sufficient, otherwise I'll be here all day. I kind of wanted this to be a fun thing. It's going less fun by the minute. Right, and I'm not sure about these. I'll auto strut these, but these are movable. It will still be able to be moved. Don't think strutting means, oh, this, you know, this won't move now, even if I do rigid. But it will. It will be fine. You don't believe me, do you? But it will be. I think that's practically everything. I mean, maybe the wheels. That's already done. That is. So I've done some of it, but not all of it. So I just digitize as much as I can. I think I'll do. And then maybe that, although that shouldn't have any problem anyway. Right, let's try this. Right, let's get a pilot in there. Oh yeah, this can hold about 4 people, so. Where's Ghost 57? Hang on, I'll tell you what, let's put, I know a good guy to put in there. Let's put this RayRay Awesome guy in there. And maybe Yuri Gagarin. What do you think? I think Yuri Gagarin is the pilot and young RayRay there as the passenger. Let's put him at risk. Eh? And then I'll save that so that I don't have to restrut that again. Let's try fly this beauty, shall we? And then you'll try my experimental craft. I just fiddled about with something that was already created to try and make it do something else. Yeah, that was a stupid state of affairs, that was. So, I'll press it. Now, I don't know if it's got the brakes on. That's the gear, so. So it's usually around about the 100 mark you can lift. Depending on the craft, if it's a very light craft, you probably might be a little bit under that, but it's still, you're generally around about 100 before you can pull this guy up into the air. Let the wing flow be fast enough to do the pushing up effect, which is what air flight is all about. It diverts them, and use your flaps to do all that, of course. I want to go on Flight Simulator, just becoming the consoles in the summer. That might be fun actually, although I'm not very good at flying them, as you know. And then you can do bring the gear up, make it more aerodynamic. See, I tried landing one of these guys on that island. Now this guy is a bit more stable, I do believe. But yeah, you gotta watch it. If you push it too far, then they can become very unstable. Because see, I'm gonna lose height now because, you know, we're sideways, so it's kind of, we've got less lift, and you can enable the lift things. Let me see if I can do it from here. You can enable all this stuff in the settings. I don't know if I can do it on this particular one, but you can see the you might be able to see those effects. You can see the lift effects, and you can see whether things are, you know, which bits are. I think you can only do it on the main menu. Yeah, fun with trying to land a plane on a tiny runway. Seems like a bad idea. And obviously, if I get on the horizon, we will cease to be going up. I don't want to go up too high, because this is only a teeny weeny little thing. I'm just kind of move to the right, because obviously, you know, that's over there. I've got to get that over that way before I can turn straight. So I presume that's 90 degrees. What do you think, guys? How you doing, RayRay? All right? Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. At least I'm not flying. Yuri is. Well, it's a good job we got a Russian doing it. Hey, don't rush it, will you? Rush it. Don't rush it. Never mind. It's a quick joke, one of the worst jokes I've ever told. And I tell a few. And they're all bad, I mean. What do you expect? Science. Science! Hope you're enjoying the grounded ones. Keep keeping an eye on the text, don't worry. About 100 so far tuned in. He lied. I'm going to turn this speed down a bit. Because we're now coming into this, as you can see, it's a very tiny little airport. So I may have to sort of clip the edge of the grass to give us any chance of getting out of this situation. Go on, Yuri. And he's really concentrating hard. Can you see his face? Look at him. He's concentrating so hard there. So I'm going to start dropping now. I mean, you know, Yuri, he's going to start dropping. And in fact, we're going to put, you know, if he puts the gear down, that an increased drag, and we should slow down speed, because we got to kind of slow down our speed and kind of gliding almost. But obviously, if we point downwards, we're going to go fast. So I'm going to kind of try and turn back to the 90 degrees if I can. But yeah, I'm not really good at flying. Yeah, I'd rather. Yeah, we're probably a bit too high. But yeah, I think it would be easier on Flight Simulator than this thing. I don't look as though we're going to do it, but I could do a nosedive. You know, we could do a nose. What about Yuri? Let's go in for a nosediver. Maybe land on top of that would have been easier. But as you can see, a very short runway. Could always try over there on the grass. It's not beyond the realms of possibility, is it? Yeah, you see what I mean? It's like a sandy little... Trying to do a big plane like this on a sandy little road like that, it's pretty impossible, isn't it? So yeah, it's going to be like the slong go round, isn't it? I'll probably get the building over. Are we slowing down? Yeah, we are slowing down. I've only got a nice slow, so I'm less than 100 mile an hour. So I've got to try and do a complete U-turn here. So it's best. See, if you know anything about planes, I know a teeny weeny because I did have a flight simulator once. So it's best to go to the right, so that you kind of say this is the airport line. You've got to kind of move around in a circle like that, so you slowly get round to this sort of straight back line. Because if you try and turn from directly in line, you know, you'll be like over here by the time you've done your turn, because aircrafts can't turn that quickly. Right, now that I went to the right a little bit, oh, that's probably not enough. We can go the opposite way, which would be like 180. And I've got to try not to lose control of the craft here, because of course they can lose stability, as you know. Or you may not know. I mean, you may not know at all. So I'm trying to bring it round. I think it's 270 is opposite. See, I know my stuff. Oh, we're only going 60 now, right? That's kind of worrying me a little bit. We could hit the... What do they call it when you hit the point where it's... Oh, stalling. Stalling, that's it. I don't want to stall it. But I don't want to go too fast here, because obviously I've got to slow down. So, we've got nice big wings, so we should have a nice bit of lift, even if we're not having the engines on very much. Coming in nice. We're coming in hot. Coming in not hot. It's hot, Yuri. I want to bring it down a bit. We're 1,000 feet up. Now, I could turn this off, just glide this in. Now, Yuri would say that was a stupid idea. What do you think? What do you think our chances are, Gov? What do you think? What do you think? Yuri's going for a real difficult one here. No, I wouldn't recommend that, Yuri. Yeah, it looks like another pass, doesn't it? Yeah, it's quite difficult, isn't it? As you can see, it's quite difficult. Put a little bit of thrust on. So again, we got to do this turn to the right, but yeah, it's not exactly fun to watch, is it? Let's be fair. Still losing height, Yuri. Yuri, don't worry, we're losing height a little bit. You might have to pull it up a bit. I mean, I may not be a pilot, but I know that, you know, basics. Right, at least we're not dropping now, we're going up. So as you can see, you've got to kind of do a slow arc all the way around. Well, not an arc, because that's obviously a different game. But we've got to kind of, you know, arc ourselves around like this. And then this is the last attempt. And then I'll show you this kind of experimental craft. There's like a stock one that does something. And I thought, oh, what if I can get it to do this as well? And then messed about with it. And yeah, you'll see the result of my ingenious idea. So it'll be back on 90, I do believe. Yeah, it's great flying this, isn't it? It's great flying. I mean, what a masterpiece from this Yuri Gagarin. What a hero he is. I don't think he's alive now, but you know, we can pretend. Keep it up, Yuri, keep it up. I mean, skim the land if you want. I mean, up, boy. I know we're on very low revs. That's what they say, the official term, isn't it? So I'm trying to keep it up. I would put some more engine on if I was you, mate. But yeah, we might just skip along the surface here. Bit more revs, bit more revs. You're coming in very hot, although we're not coming in too hot, but we're coming in hottish. Hottish. Oh, oh, oh! Oh, we got so excited there. Let's turn the engines off. We might land this baby. Oh, well done, Yuri. God, stay on the hillside, stay on the hillside. Alright, we missed the landing spot. Put the brakes on. Oh, excellent. Whoa, what a champion. Who would have thought in the 20th century that humans would witness don't know why I keep repeating that one, but yeah, still a bit of thrust. Might have to stay on this bank. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Ah, that's it, yeah, that's it, a bit of thrust. See if we go up a bit higher and we'll turn it back off. Just got the hill a little bit. You know, see if we can land it on the, you know, we might be able to like shimmy down the hill. What do you think, Yuri? Any chance of us shimmying this down the hill? No? Yeah, we could drop off the top here. Where is the? Oh, there it. Oh, actually, we're on that bit. Oh, I'm sure we can bring it in. What a remarkable, what a king he is, Yuri. I mean, he's amazing. Yuri, can you get it on there? I mean, obviously landing it, the main one is going to be easier. Well, I won't put you through that hell. Yeah, try and get on there if you can. Oh, maybe we lost the wheel there. Maybe we lost the wing there. Maybe we lost the whole cabin there. Alright, it was a steep cliff, I admit. What great fun though, wasn't it? Wasn't that the best fun you've ever seen this year? So anyway, that's that. I'll revert it because you don't want to kill them both. Phew. Right, and now we'll show you about the experimental craft, which I don't know what it was called, to be honest. I think it was a vertical takeoff or something. Ah, VTOL. It was some kind of VTOL thing, but I think I called it like Ray's VTOL or something. Although I may have got all that wrong. Oh, look, I thought it said Skywalker then. Thunderbird? Gotta have a look at this. Sorry, but that's not a Thunderbird. Oh yeah, there's the little guys, by the way, driving around, look. You can enable or disable that, the little guys running around. Affects performance, so if you're on Xbox One, probably don't do that because it affects performance a bit. And you want as much as you can on Xbox One. Right, let's look at this vertical aircraft thing. I did get it crash at one point, and I know what it looks like, kind of. I think it was this guy. Yeah, this was like the stock guy. Yeah, it looks like it didn't retain my save. But I kind of jigged about it, and then I kind of did a rover thing somewhere. Here, boy. Although I think it was in the other one. Oh yeah, I made a little prospector rover thing as well. I had a little fiddle about with that. Yeah, let me show you this guy. So let's see who we have in the cabin. Who's in the cabin there? We have Duvin. But we don't want Duvin. I think. Now, I don't know if... tourists, what about Ghost 57? What about William? I'm sure William could cope with that. Ghost, do you want to go with him? There's only one cabin. Oh yeah, right, there is only one cabin. What a stroke of luck for you. He's glad about that. So William is going to have a go at this. Now, the idea is all these teeny little rockets here. Now you may think that's a tiny little rocket, but there's a lot of them. There's about 6 or 8 on each one. They should all be strutted. Do you know, I strutted all this up, but I think I got a crash on it or something, and it didn't retain that. It's either that or I just dreamt it. Never to be seen again. Oh, I better do this because they do tend to, you know, with all this kind of wobbliness, it kind of wobble it out. So I've got to get the basic structure done. You can't actually rigidize. Oh, you can rigidize those. I tell a fib. You can, but I know some of these things you can't. So that obviously should do the other side. That'll do. I mean, I'm not going to rigid everything, and then we'll save that. Right, let's drive this guy. William, have a go at this boy. I'm back on live streaming on YouTube now, so if you want to pop over to YouTube and see RayRay Awesome, pop over. You know, just a plug. Although I don't know if I'm allowed to do that on Twitch, am I? But I'm also doing it on Twitch. Twitch, my favourite platform. Grovel. And the brakes are, yeah, for some reason they never ensue the brakes at the very start. Seems like a stupid thing, really. And then I think this throws them off, doesn't it? Or why you want to throw off your only living engines, I don't know. But I'll just show you what this does. Press the button. William, you ready? I'm ready, yeah, come on then, let's fit it. What do? You just press the button. What button? Let me show you. God, are we really letting this... Oh no, I didn't want him to get out. I meant see his inside. Right, there's the cabin, right? You see the controls down here, right? Yeah, you should have a button on your keypad here. I don't know if I could see it. You should have... A little bit hard to see, but there's a button on there that says like start. Just press it. Oh, this one? What, the green one? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, just press that. Look at that, hey, look at this. Hey, have fun with that, William. And look, if you ease forward a bit, it'll give you a little bit of forward thrust. So where would you like to land? On the helipad? Now, of course, we'll run out of fuel at some point. Oh, in fact, we're dropping now. Let's bring it up enough, give it enough thrust to stay kind of mobile, and then see if you can land it over here. See, this is the kind of fun you can have with planes. See, it's great fun. You don't agree? Oh yeah, you can't use the side. You know, you got to kind of push forward and back to do things. But yeah, try and land it on the landing pad. You're probably going a bit high now, William, and you're running out of fuel. Don't want to worry you, but we're running out of fuel slightly, just a touch. Where do you think? Where do you think you want to land? See if you tilt to the left, you'll go left. If you tilt to the right, you go right. You better put some thrust on. Thrust! It's gonna crash! Do you want to land just there? I mean, I would slow down if I was you. Right, it's gone back up again. Stay on that horizontal line. Oh, I can't see a line. There's a there's a blue line and a brown orange line. So I can stay on it. Why? Because that's your that tells you whether you're level or not. See, we're slightly bent to the left, look, which means we'll bend to the left. And if you turn it like that, you can turn it into different positions. So we want to come back down, try to go forward a bit, that's it, and then go back a bit, right, and then pull the throttle down so we don't keep on going, otherwise you might hit the stratosphere. You're running out of fuel. So, you know, I don't want to worry you, but I was hoping you might land over by that little thing that's over there. So I don't know if you've seen that. But obviously don't drop too fast, William. We got to kind of drop down to the bottom before we hit the floor and before we run out of fuel. So if you could, like, you know, put a stop to going forward a little bit, so we can land somewhere near that monument, and then hope the fuel don't run out. But at the moment it is running out, so I'm going to tilt it so otherwise we'll end up in the water. William, you'll end up in the water. I think you might need more thrust to reverse this landing in the water process. That's it, and then kind of level off. I don't think he's going to make it, you know, but he's giving it a try. You're falling too fast, William. You fall up before you hit the water. God, he's going to run out of fuel. He's going to run out of fuel. Right, do you want me to take over? Nah, fine. I think I'm working it out. Really? Are you insane or not? Yeah, you got to kind of go that way without going upwards. And you're going to run out of fuel any minute. So if I was you, I'd cut it. Have you got any wings? No, you ain't got wings. Why do I? Well, just put a bit of thrust on. Like that. In fact, at the last minute, put the thrust on. That's like a little tip from an old favourite of mine. Right, and then if you get on the line, you see, you're more likely to kind of go straight up. Alright, you won't reverse the forward movement, but you could, if you go up, that'll kind of reverse the forward movement, and then you can move back again. So you're getting it now, aren't you? Nope. See if we can land it. You're going to run out of fuel any minute, William. So what I would do is just centralise it all up. That's it. Kind of get it all nice and level, and then thrust at the very last second to try and save you from plummeting to near death. Oh, it's too late. You've run out of fuel. Bye, William. It was nice knowing you. Although he may have survived. So yeah, this is kind of fun you can have with Kerbal, by the way. But the best bit is maybe overdoing the spinning. I might kill him. If you kick a roll over towards that monument, try rolling over. Don't go too fast, because that's flipping you up every now and again. It'll save you walking there, and we'll get there a bit quicker. That's it. Give it a bit of whip. Oh, this is just better fun than flying the thing. Well, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, try and tilt your way. Hang on, it's going the wrong way now. I think you've gone backwards. Yeah, just keep flicking it. I'm sure it'll get there. Oh, yeah, you've done a magnificent job there. No, hang on. We're kind of going the wrong way now. Yeah, that way. Is this fun, or is this? Oh no, you've gone too far now. Can you keep it straight? Why do you keep it? Well, I don't know. You just turn it. Just kind of flip. What's the matter with a guy? Have you no idea how to flip things? Look at this. See, this is kind of fun you can have with Kerbal. See, you'd have great fun on this. I'm not sure what it is to buy now, but it's probably insanely cheap. This could take a long time for us to get there, but if you could just point that general direction. I mean, he's got no control, but yeah, ground control to Major Tom. Commencing countdown. Williams on. Take your protein. Oh no, I better not sing anymore, because that copyright me my own material that I wrote. I wrote that for David Bowie. Please, that you're a nutcase. Oh, have I lost all sense of movement now? What's the matter? William run out of steam? I think he may have run out of steam. You have to get out and walk now. Alright then. As long as the cockpit's not blocked. I let go. Yeah, go on. Run over there. Let's just zoom in a bit. Get on, William. I don't know if I showed you this, but if I didn't, if I did, then I apologise. Want to become famous? Somebody says. Oh, that's probably clickbait stuff. So I'll ignore that. Sometimes I get a thing like that, like big follow, blah 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 blah. It's probably just something to click on, and you end up, blowing up your computer or something, or you. So I kind of ignore that. It could be true, but I mean, I doubt it. Can you get in it quicker? I said, can you? Because you can't turn the reverse way and look at him. Look at him sweating. It's probably the best exercise you've had in the last 6 months, isn't it, Will? Well, I don't care. I love it. I'm going to jump it all. Oops. No, you fell flat on your face now. It's about right for William. I just want to go over here. I don't know if I've showed you this, but if I haven't showed you this is quite fun. But I might have done. So if so, skip this whole thing. But I actually did do a variation on that craft and stuck an engine on it so I could do forward thrust afterwards. And stuck a couple of wings on it. But I think that might have been the one where it crashed before it finished. And it didn't save all that beautifulness. Wee! The parachute might help here. Have I got that? Yeah, he's got kind of parachute space, and he's also got a slot on his backpack. I better go for his laughing his socks off right now. If I could remember who those people were that were subscribing to me, so like following me, I'll pull that up if I can while we're waiting for this little thing. Somebody followed me just the other day, so let me see if I can find that and read out his name live. Right, let's have a look. So I've got a ton of junk here. I've got to clear this inbox. Right, where are we? Just looking. Right, we got Lunasec XQC. Thank you very much for the follow on Twitch. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. There may be another one. And also, Hundendals is also following me. So thank you to Hundendals. And also, Ayakuwu. Ayakuwu, he's also following me. So there's a few followers there. I haven't got a lot. And also, Alpha Dos Lunari V3. There's another one. And I think there's a few others. So all you people who are following me on Twitch, thank you very much for following. Greatly appreciated. So I hope this boring little segment here of me running towards this ridiculous thing, and I don't know, many people have done this, because a lot of people don't do this stuff. They think, just take off, and then they never ever get to this. So this is just sheer bit of fun. He likes making a fool of himself. It'd be nice when we get the rich textures. I went on PC and got the textures on there look really good. It's about 10 times higher than this. And but I don't know, my PC's playing up. It plays the game for about, well, maybe an hour if I'm lucky, but it's like half an hour to an hour, and it just decides it was going to crash. So I don't know whether I got a graphics card problem. And it took me about 4 hours to sort that PC out, do updates, get it out. Windows had an update. Then it lost me drivers, so I had to reinstall all my drivers. So you see why I go for consoles. It starts in like 3 seconds, my console. I'm not lying. See, squad. The people that made this game. I think we stand here and stand in front of it, William. Turn and face. I think a screenshot will be great here. Can you do a view of that? No. There are a screenshot there of Squad, the great makers of this wonderful game, and William standing in front of it. And then you can press this button and get rid of all the UI, and then I can press my one button press on Series X, screenshot saved, and that's going to whap up on Xbox Live. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that little bit of hilarity, a little bit of fun with planes. Only a bit, yeah. I was describing that whole event that happened. It took me a good 3 hours or so of frustration and anger and countless joy. I was trying to bring that guy back to the old Kerbin. I'll see you next time, everybody, and I'll do a quick ending again, and I'll see you all next time. And guess what, guys? I'll see you later. Bye. No, let's not do that. Let's keep on.